Yes, it is not. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmadgurubhyo Namaha श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ओम श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सच्चिदानंद रूपाय कृष्णाय क्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदांत वेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वलोकहिते रतं वेदाब्ज भास्करं वन्दे शमादिनिलयं मुनिं सहस्रमूर्तेः पुरुषोत्तमस्य सहस्रनेत्राननपादबाहोः सहस्रनाम्नां स्तवनं प्रशस्तं निरुच्यते जन्मजरादिशान्त्यै. Namaste everyone.
Namaskaram, Mama.
So today is the 108th class. And today we will be completing Vishnu Sahasranamam 1000 Namas. You see the divine coincidence. We are completing it 108 classes. 108 is also a very auspicious number so far as our culture is concerned. And Bhagavan has made it possible for us to conclude the main portion, that is the Namas of Vishnu Sahasranama in today's class. And before we go further, let me just, for those who are not there in the Gita class yesterday, there was we experienced some outages of Zoom in yesterday's Gita class. The voice was intermittent, there was a time gap and all that. I hope today we are not going to face those problems, so we'll be able to complete this class. And we pray to Puja Swamiji, to Ishwara, everybody, for the successful completion of today's class. Okay. So with that introductory remarks, we will go to the 106th sloka. Atmayoni swayam jato vaikhana samagayanah devaki nandana srashta kshitishah papanashanah. So in the last class, we saw two very, very profound namas. Atmayonihi swayam jatah. Ishvara was pointed out as both the nimitta karana, the efficient cause, and also the upadana karana, the material cause of this entire jagat. And in fact, if we understand this, we will understand the full jagat, what jagat is. We started with Vishwam. Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkarah is what the first sloka. That Vishwam, the very first nama of Bhagavan, what it is described here, Atmayonihi Swayam Jatah. We saw that this nama in detail in the last class. So now we will move on to the next nama, Vaikhanaha. Vaikhanaha means the one who digs. Visheshena Khananat Vaikhanaha. So this nama basically means one connected with Vishesha Khanana, special digging. And normally in the tradition, this nama is interpreted as referring to Varaha Avatara. But it can also, because Adi Shankara doesn't refer to Varaha Avatara. But tradition has got this. It refers to Varaha, because Varaha Avatara, digging with that nose is involved, that dug the earth. But here, we can also take to mean that he is the one known by specially digging into the words of the Shastra with the help of a teacher. So the digging is, we are doing the digging into the Shastra to understand what Ishvara is. And only then can one understand that everything is Ishvara. Visheshena Khananat Shabdaihi. The words of the Shastra, we have to dig into the words of the Shastra. We have to go into the depth of the words, not just the superficial meaning of the words, but the implied meaning of the words we have to dig into. And that is why he is called Vaikana. And of course, Puja Swamiji adds one more dimension. It is his grace alone that digs out all our problems of samsara along with its roots, and hence he is Vaikana. Another nice interpretation of this Nama Vaikana. Then Samagayana, the one who sings Sama Veda. Samani Gayati iti Samagayana. Ishvara is Samagayana, the one who sings Samaveda, revealing himself. He reveals that everything has come from one cause, which is therefore the truth of everything. And that truth is the truth of his own self and the truth of you. And that is why it is possible to say Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, etc., all those Mahavakyas. Of course, we must understand that it is not that Parameshwara reveals himself only in the Samaveda. Here, of course, Samaveda, he is also revealed through Samaveda, because Samaveda is musical and it expresses the joyous singing of knowledge. And that is why here the Samaveda Nama is given to Bhagavan. Samagayana. Then Devaki Nandana, the son of Devaki. This is a Nama straight away referring to Krishna Avatara. Devakya Sutah Devaki Nandana, says Adi Shankara. So Lord Vishnu was born as the son of Devaki. This is one of his avatars. In fact, the last avatara before Kali Yuga. And he is the one who gives joy to Devaki. You must just imagine the situation. When Bhishma is reciting all these namas to Yudhishthira, he sees Bhagavan Krishna standing in front of him as Sri Krishna, the son of Devaki. And probably the moment he sees him, this nama came in his mind, Devaki Nandana. Now we can actually take this nama as a sort of a symbol rather, and interpret it in a more deeper philosophical way. We can take every jiva is a Devaki, and the Lord gives joy to every jiva. In devotion, One can be a mother, a friend, a child, and so on to the Lord. You can actually relate to the Lord in so many ways. Mirabai's story we all know, how she related to the Lord. So the Lord is known so well that the Lord can be approached just as a mother would approach a child, or as a friend approaching a friend, or as a spouse approaching a spouse. So one can have different relationship with Ishvara. If you go one step further, it is for us to understand that in fact all relationships are Ishvara only, because it is an absolute relationship and every relationship is his relationship alone. One can relate to the Lord in any way that one wants. And all these relationships will only give joy to the person who is relating to the Lord. So Devaki Nandana, even though it's a very simple nama, it just suggests that it's a son of Devaki, but we can actually understand it, go beyond the mother and child relationship and understand the Lord in so many different dimensions. Next nama, 990th nama, the Srashta, the creator of all. Srashta Sarvasya Lokasya. Very simple. We have seen this again and again in different ways. Bhagavan is Srashta, the creator of all the worlds. Then Kshitishaha, the ruler of the earth. Kshitehe, Bhumehe, Ishaha, Kshitishaha, Dasharathatmajaha. Okay. Adi Shankara adds one avatara. So as the creator, Parameshwara is the Lord of all the worlds, which includes this Kshiti. Kshiti means the earth. So here, what Adi Shankara is suggesting is that this Nama refers to Lord Sri Rama, the son of Dasharatha, in which avatara he was crowned as a king and he ruled the earth. And hence he is Kshitishaha. Rama Rajya. He ruled the earth with Rama Rajya. And that is why, wherever we go today, we find Rama temple, Rama being worshipped far and wide. Everywhere was Rama's rule. The next Nama, Papanashanaha, the destroyer of papas. Kirtitaha, Pujitaha, Dhyayataha, Smritaha, Paparashim, Nashayan, Papanashanaha. Bhagavan is Papanashana, the one who, when praised, worshipped, meditated upon, or even just remembered, destroys by his grace all our papas. The more papas get destroyed, more chitta shuddhi we gain. But we may still continue to gather papa. As we have seen, there is a Sanchita karma, there is a Agami karma, and there is a Prarabdha karma. So Agami karma, we go on continuously gaining more and more papas, gathering more and more papas. Therefore, the only way of totally destroying all the papas is by the knowledge of Ishvara, which means the knowledge of my own self-knowledge. Bhagavan himself says in the Gita, Apiche dasi papebhyah sarvebhyah prapakrittamah sarvam jnana plavenaiva Vrijinam santarishyasi. Vrijinam santarishyasi. He says, even if you happen to be the most exalted among those who have done papa, the biggest papi in the world, you are actually residing in the ocean of papa. He says, Bhagavan says, the entire ocean of papa can be crossed without any effort, jnana plavenaiva, by the raft of knowledge. Sarvam vrijinam santarishyasi. Everything can be crossed. Samyak tarishasi. You will cross, it says. Future tense. Therefore, the knowledge of the self, knowledge of Ishvara, is the only way for us to get rid of all papas. In the meantime, even as even we remember Ishvara, we do puja, we do meditation, we do archana, etc. Some of the papas get actually destroyed continuously. That process takes place. That's why when we do Sandhya Vandanam all 3 times, the main sankalpa and the purpose for the Arkhya Pradhanam, and Keshavadi Tarpanam, Adityadi Tarpanam, is only prayer for destruction of our papas. Morning Sandhya, we say Suryascha Mamanyuscha Manyupatayascha Manyukritebhya Papebhyo Rakshantam Yad Ratriya Papamakarsham Manasa Vacha Asthabhyam Padbhyam Udarena Shishna Ratrista Tavanum Pati Yatkinchat Duridam Mayi Aham Mamudayona Surye Jyotishi Juhomi Swaha. All the papas that I have done knowingly, unknowingly during night, with all my instruments, Manasa, Vacha, Hastabhyam, Udarena, Shishna, all these, whatever I have done, I am offering it to Surya Bhagavan for completely destroying, burning them. Similarly, Madhyanam, same thing we say. Evening also, there is a Agnischa Manyuscha Manyupatayascha Manyukitebhya Papebhyo Rakshantam Yadahna Papamakarsham. Again, Manasa Vacha Astabhyam Padbhyam Udarena Shishna Ahasta Tavanumpati Yatkinchadu Durdammayi Aham Mamurdayonau Satye Jyotishi Juhomi Swaha. Again, Papebhyo Rakshantam. I am offering all my papas which I have done during the day for it to be destroyed in the Jyoti, in the Satya Jyotishi. So, this destruction of papas or the neutralization of the papas that we gather every day is one of the most important karmas which we should continuously do. So that there are 2 aspects. One is the past papas which we have actually gathered that needs to be destroyed. Another is the papas which we are earning on a day-to-day basis. That also needs to be neutralized. And Vishnu Sahasranamam for all is one prayer, one mode with which you can achieve both, destroy the previous papas and also on a day-to-day basis. And that's why chanting of Vishnu Sahasranamam, reciting of the Vishnu Sahasranamam slokas on a daily basis without fail, wherever, even if you are traveling, doesn't matter, you can chant Vishnu Sahasranamam. And by doing so, over a period of time, you yourself will start experiencing a different there is a transformation which you undergo. When the papas, the weight of the papas which is there on you as a jiva gets lighter and lighter, you will see a transformation in your own personality. So therefore he says, Papa Nashanaha, one of the very important namas. Now we come to the last sloka, completing the 1000 namas. We already saw what is the nimitta karana and upadana karana of the world. Questions arise in all sadhaka's mind. Who am I? What is this world? As I said, Vedanta deals with three important questions which a thinking mind comes up with. What is Jagat? What is Ishvara? And who am I? The Jiva. And the entire Vedanta is unraveling of the truth of the relationship between the Jiva, Ishvara, Ishvara and Jagat and Jiva. Three-way relationships. And the truth is only one, and that is revealed by Vedanta. Therefore, the answer to all these questions is revealing the truth of everything. And that truth is only one limitless consciousness, free from all limitations of time, place, objectivity. This knowledge takes you to the truth of your own self. The truth that you are neither the doer nor the enjoyer. And this knowledge in turn frees you totally from all papa punya together with their cause, which is self-ignorance. Therefore, chanting these namas of the Lord destroys the papas that stand in the way and creates an interest in understanding their meaning. Proper understanding of these namas frees one totally from samsara, which is a life of becoming. Now, in this last sloka, Bhagavan is presented as a Upasya Murti with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and so on. This sloka again, the very important sloka. Once we have chanted, we can actually meditate upon this sloka, bring the image, visualize the image of Bhagavan in our mind, and recall whatever we can, all the namas of Bhagavan with their meanings. So we will chant the sloka. Shankha Brindaki Chakri Shangadhanva Gadadhara Ratangapani Rakshobhyah Sarva Praharanayudah Sarva Praharanayudah Om Namayite. So this sloka has got 8 namas, 993 to 1000. Shangabrit, Nandaki, Chakri, Sharngadhanva, Gadadharaha, Ratangapanihi, Akshobhyaha, Sarva Praharanayudaha. And that completes the 1000 namas. Very simple the meanings of this sloka, every nama. Changabrit means the one who has a conch. Panchajanyakyam Bhutadi Ahankaratmakam Shankam Bibrat Shangabrit. Now Adi Shankara in his commentary is very beautifully connecting each of these Ayudam, Shankar, Chakra, and the bow and all that, with each aspect of our own personality. Bhutadi ahankaratmakam, he says. So Bhagavan has a Shankha, the conch, called Panchajanya in his hand. We have seen that one photos, images of Bhagavan, blowing the conch in the Mahabharata war. He has got a conch in his hand. And Shankha is the call from Bhagavan. He is beckoning us, come to me. You are going somewhere else. My dear Jiva, come to me, understand me. Wherever you go, you understand it is only me. But you are going in your self-ignorance without this understanding. Understand that everywhere there is only me and me alone. And whenever you actually hear the sound of a conch, you can immediately bring to your mind these beautiful words. I am Bhagavan, I am everywhere. Wherever you are going, you are coming to me only. And also, in our tradition, it is believed that the sound of conch keeps all evil spirits away. The sound is a beckoning call of Ishvara. And wherever people are, they hear this sound. The whole Veda is the call of Ishvara. Once you respond to that call, then where can the evil spirits be? There can be no evil at all. And as I said, the Shankha also represents the Bhuta and Ahankara Tattva, the principle of the 5 elements. Bhuta means here 5 elements, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha and Prithvi, 5 elements, and also Ahankara. At the end of the day, if you analyze what a Jiva is made of, Jiva is made of 3 aspects. The 5 elements, Panchabhuta, Ahankara, and also the reflection of the original consciousness, which in the Jiva is called Chidabhasa, which is what enlivens the Jiva. That is the composition of each one of us. So, Shankhabrit. Nandaki, the one with a sword called Nandaka. Vidyamaya hai, Nandaka kya hai? Asira hai, Asyeti Nandaki. So one was, the first one was the conch. Then Bhagavan has got a sword called Nandaka, and therefore he is Nandaki. The one who has got Nandaka is Nandaki. And what is that sword? For us, it is not a sword to fight. It is the sword of Vidya, the sword of knowledge, by which one can sever the Sangha, the attachments. Attachments which leads to Moha and then Dukkha. So this is one meaning. Then Nandaka also has got a meaning, that which gives Ananda. So he removes all sorrow by removing one's wrong thinking and thereby making one happy. And that's why when you hold on to Ishvara, you will get a teacher. You will gain values. And eventually, you will gain knowledge of yourself. And through this process, you gain security, gain a sense of fearlessness, and thereby you find that you need not go against Ishvara or go against Dharma at all under any circumstances. Hence, there is fearlessness, and that is Asanga Shastra. There is no more any adharma due to the pressure of desires. All raga dveshas are managed fully under control. And there is a natural detachment from adharma. Ishvara in his Swarupa is Asanga, unattached. And the more you seek Ishvara, the more you are with Ishvara. The more you are with Ishvara, the more you are away from all sorts of wrong commitments and attachments. So this Nama Nandaki has to be understood in this dimension rather. Then 995 Nama. Chakri, the one who has got Sudarshana Chakra. Manastatvatmakam Sudarshanakyam Chakram Asya iti Asyeti iti Chakri. Bhagavan is called Chakri because he has the chakra, the discus, which is called Sudarshana. Since Bhagavan has got lot of enemies, Bhagavan has got his chakra. And it represents the Manas Tattva, the mind principle. Seeing things clearly is chakra, wielded by Parameshwara, because of which the inner enemies of anger, jealousy, greed, and so on can be processed and neutralized. Bhagavan is there in the form of clarity. And then there is more and more Ishvara in one's life. You can try any technique to change your personality. They may work for some time, some of them, but it is extremely difficult to change through all these techniques. Only one technique, if you adopt Vishnu Sahasranama technique, you can really make a transformation in your life. But you have to do it with commitment over a period of time. One cannot say how long it will take. It doesn't matter. Don't have attachment towards the result. Karmanye madhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Go on doing the sadhana. Go on reciting Vishnu Sahasranama. Result will come automatically whenever it is due to come. Never have any anxiety for the results. Then Sharanga Dhanva, the one with a bow called Sharanga. Indriyadi ahankaratmakam Sharangam nama dhanuhu asyasti iti Sharanga Dhanva. So Bhagavan is Sharanga Dhanva, having a bow called Sharanga, and this is used to deal with remote problems. Problems from the unconscious of us are removed. In fact, Puja Swamiji in his other talks, he deals with this unconscious in a very, very detailed manner. Many aspects of our personality, our behavior in the day-to-day transactions with the world, the unconscious, we are driven by the unconscious. Unconscious means those samskaras which are buried deep in our unconscious. And they surface suddenly without our asking. And that is one of the more core problems that every jiva faces. And therefore, you need to actually bring out the unconscious and process the unconscious in your spiritual journey. And that can be done only by all these sadhanas which are prescribed, whether it is... What is unconscious? It is all impurities are all sitting in the unconscious. That is why they emerge, they just appear without any prompting. And Adi Shankara says, the bow also represents the Indriya Tattva, the principle of the sense organs. And when we actually meditate upon Bhagavan as Sharanga Dhanva, we only pray to him that let me successfully process my unconscious. In fact, the dreams that we see at night, from where those dreams come, the dreams are nothing but all your experiences selectively buried deep in your unconscious. In the dream state, the unconscious reveals itself, and you see all sorts of wonderful or wild dreams, scary dreams. Then Gadadhara, the one who has got the club, Buddhi Tattvatmikam Kaumodakim Nama Gadam Vahan Gadadhara. Bhagavan has got a Gada, the club called Kaumodaki, and hence he is called Gadadhara. Again, the Gada is used to deal with discipline, any kind of a problem relating to discipline. And it represents Buddhi Tattva, the principle of intellect. So the Gada represents that any problem that we come across, we should deal with that problem not with our mind, not with Manas Tattva, but with the Buddhi Tattva. We must analyze the problem, apply our intellect to that, and then try to solve. That is why Gada is actually, it is the principle of intellect which is Gada refers to that. Gadadhara. Then Ratanga Panihi, the one who has the wheel of the chariot in his hand. In some of the images we would have seen Bhagavan actually holding the chariot, wheel of the chariot in his hand. Ratangam Chakramasya Panav Stitamiti Ratanga Panihi. Again, as I said, this refers to, this Nama Ratanga Pani refers to Sri Krishna. During the Bharata war, this Mahabharata war, Kurukshetra war, at one stage, the Lord jumped down from the chariot, took the Ratanga, the wheel of the chariot in his hand, and used it as his chakra to save Arjuna from the mad frenzy that Bhishma exhibited, and thus he saved Dharma. Against Bhishma, none of the other things. Arjuna was about to lose the war against Bhishma, and Krishna came to his rescue. So Ratanga Panihi. Akshobhya, the one who cannot be shaken by anything. Atayeva Ashakya Kshobhana iti Akshobhya. He is Akshobhya, one who cannot be shaken or disturbed. Having all these various weapons, he can never be shaken by anything or anybody. Or he is unassailed. Nobody can shake him. Nothing can stop him from giving the results for the good karma. If you take refuge in Ishvara, immediately there is a Drishtaphala, and then naturally there will also be an Adrishtaphala, and that Adrishtaphala will bring you lot of good things in your future, in your life henceforth. Then the last Nama, the 1000th Nama, Sarva Praharana Yudaha, the one who is armed with all striking weapons. Etavanti eva ayudhani asyeti na niyamyate. Apitu sarvani eva praharanani ayudhani asyeti sarva praharana yudaha. Ayudatvena aprasiddhanyapi karajadini asya ayudhani bhavanti iti. Ante sarva praharanayuda iti vachanam satya sankalpatvena sarveshwaratvam darshayitum. Thus, Adi Shankara concludes his bhashyam of the 1000 namas of the sloka, the Vishnu Sahasranamam. Now, there are a few weapons named in the last sloka. Does it mean that the Lord has got only these weapons? The answer is no. There is no restriction that he wields only particular weapons and not others. He has ayudas, weapons for the praharana, the removal of every problem and obstacle. That's why after naming a few ayudhas, he says Sarva Praharana Ayudha. He has got all sorts of weapons. Any weapon you imagine, Bhagavan has got. He is one who is armed with all kinds of weapons in various avatars. In fact, even when we read the avatara stories, in different avatara, he has used different weapons. As Sri Rama, he used even a grass as a weapon. As Sri Krishna, he used his own weight and his hands. As Lord Nrsimha, he used his claws, all as weapons. So there is no restriction. You cannot even imagine what all weapons Bhagavan has got. And all those weapons he uses for the removal of every problem, every obstacle, every dukkha of a devotee. So Ayudha is also that which will help to solve the problems. The grace of Ishvara is sought so that one can overcome the obstacles and control the known and the hidden variables. Sometimes we experience that we are unable to control even the known variables. Then what to talk of controlling the hidden variables? Therefore, we seek refuge in Ishvara. And the Vishnu Sahasranama ends with Sarva Praharana Yuda Om Nama Iti. The word Nama Sarva Praharana Yuda is repeated twice, right? So, the use of this phrase, armed with all kinds of striking weapons, Sarva Praharana Yuda, at the end of Vishnu Sahasranama, is to show that he is the Lord of all, in control of everything, and he is Satya Sankalpa, and he is Om Ishvara. Sarva Praharanayuda Om Nama Iti. Om salutations, Om Nama Iti. Salutations unto him who is armed with all striking weapons. Adi Shankara says, Dvil Vachanam Samaptim Dhyotayati Omkarascha Mangalartha. The Om in the end is Mangalartha. Repetition of the name of Sarva Praharanayuda is to show the completion of the 1,000 names. And the monosyllable is used for auspiciousness. All the names begin with Om and end with Om. That means it is Shubham, auspiciousness. And it ends well.
Mama, can you please repeat Nandaki meaning? Nandaki.
Nandaka is a sword. One meaning is he is the wielder of the sword, Nandaka. Okay. You got that?
Yes, Mama.
Another meaning is Nandaki means who gives Ananda. Nandaka means who gives Ananda, who is the maker of Ananda to all his devotees.
Okay.
So these are two meanings which we saw, Nandaki. Okay.
Oh.
So now, so this we have saw Om. So as I was saying, there is a shloka, Omkarascha Atha Shabdascha Dvavetau Brahman Pura Kantam Bhitva Viniryatau Tasman Mangala Tasmat Mangalika Vubhav. Okay. What it means is these two words, Om and Atha, came out of the throat of Brahmaji, and therefore these two syllables are very auspicious syllables. By the word Namaha, salutation, the author of the sloka pays his obeisance to Lord Vishnu. The Shruti says, Bhutishtam te nama uktim vidhema. To you we offer our words of adoration in abundance. Ishavasa Upanishad. There is another verse which says, Dhanyam tadeva lagnam tannakshatram tadeva punyam ahaha karanasya cha sa siddhyartha harihi prang namaskriyate. Where the Lord Hari is the first to be saluted, that alone is the auspicious Lagna and Nakshatra. That alone is the auspicious day. That alone is the successful Karana. Therefore, the wise people salute Ishvara not only at the beginning of an action, but also at the end. Thus, Bhishma begins and ends Sahasranama with namaskaras to the Lord. Then last sloka is not, it's a conclusion. Varamali Gadi Shangi Shanki Chakri Chanandaki Sriman Narayan or Vishnu Vasudevo Virakshatu Sri Vasudevo Virakshatu Namayate. Actually, this sloka is not found in the Mahabharata. But traditionally, it is chanted 3 times at the end of Sahasranama. The short meaning of the sloka is, may that Narayana, who is always associated with Shri, that is Lakshmi, who is all pervasive and existent in everything as the Adhisthana, Sat and Chit, who always wears the Vanamala, the garland, made of wild flowers, Vanamali, made of wild flowers found in a forest, who has the mace, the bow called Sharanga, the wheel, the sword called Nandaka, may he bless everyone. That is the meaning of this sloka. So just a few words in conclusion. So we have seen the names, explanation of these 1000 namas in the last 107 classes and today 108 class. And it is clear that these are not just names to call Ishvara. So that we can use any name, hey Ishvara, come and help me. And also these are not the only names to call Ishvara. It is not that he would not respond to any other name. If we understand Ishvara very well, he will respond to any name in which we invoke him. Because each word has something to convey us. Every word has got a meaning and it has got something to convey to us. It is for us to understand Ishvara as one conscious being. It is not because he is Ishvara that he has 1000 names, while we as individuals have just 4 or 5 names. These 1000 names are just 1000 ways in which we look at Ishvara and try to understand him. Because every word is a pada padartha, means it's a word. Padam means a word and also its meaning. Every word, it contains in itself the word as well as its meaning rather. So every word is a pada. Padyate anena pada. And this pada is a means to understand Ishvara. If we consider that all these just as name to call Ishvara, then it becomes his responsibility to respond. But when we see them as padas, words, then the responsibility lies with us to understand Ishvara with the help of these words. To begin with, we can call Ishvara with all these names and expect him to respond. But as we graduate, as we progress, we have to take up that responsibility, that how do we see Ishvara in every word that we speak, in every name that we take. And that is why in our tradition, normally children are named with some name of Ishvara. Whenever we take the name of children, we are only taking the name of Ishvara. Therefore, every Ashtotra, Shatanama, or even Sahasranama will have many names that seem to be common. Names of Govinda, Shiva, Isha, Ishvara, Sachidananda, Ananta, Ananta. All these were some common names we will find in all Sahasranamas or even Shatanamas. Because whatever Devata we are invoking, we are praying to, all are Ishvara only. But there are certain words which are specific to an avatara. Ratangapani, Devaki Nandana belong to only Lord Vishnu. We will not call in Shiva Sahasranama, Shiva Stotra, Devaki Nandanaya Namah. They are only reserved for Vishnu Sahasranama. So these some names are reserved only for Lord Vishnu, based on his avatara or a special form attributed to him. And in other Namavalis or in other Sahasranamas, such names will be replaced by another set of names applicable to that Devata. Of course, in the next class, we will be seeing the Phalashruti, which follows the Uttara Bhaga. Some people feel that mere repetition of these 1,000 names is enough and that it is not essential to know their meaning. This is a very commonly shared attitude across the country. Now we have seen certain types of Vachika karma, Manasa karma, Kayika karma, different types of karmas we have seen, right? And I have also explained the effectiveness of each type of karma in the beginning classes. So it is true that repeating the names being a Vachika karma also is capable of giving Punya Phala. And these 1,000 names, they constitute a stotra which can be used for chanting and for doing archana. Therefore, if these names are taken just as mere names, these names can be repeated without knowing their meaning. That is Vachika karma. And as I said, that itself will give its own phala. Then doing puja or archana with this name becomes the Kayika karma. The Lord can be invoked in an image or a picture or a lamp. Even a pot of water, archana can be performed. All that is required is avahanam of the Lord in that particular, whether it is an idol or it is a photo or whatever it is. And we can do japa with these names also. Manasika japa you can do. It can either be a Ucha japa, which is loud, or Manda japa or Upamshu japa, which is just loud enough for one to hear, or it could be a Manasa japa, which is done mentally. Even though, like most mantras, it is not a single name, but it is a series of name of the Lord, still it is equal to a mantra. We can relate to these 1,000 names only when we understand its meaning. And then the puja, archana, japa, etc. becomes more meaningful. And that is why it is always helpful to know the meaning. And since we are all, most of the Indian languages have Sanskrit words in usage. Even in Tamil, lot of Sanskrit words are used. there is a general familiarity with many of these namas. So one can relate to the Lord while doing japa. But the ultimate aim should be to understand the meaning of all these names. So this is what I wanted to share with you on Vishnu Sahasranama meanings. Let me take this opportunity, first of all, to thank Meda Dakshinamurti Swami, who is the guru of all gurus. Then Vyasacharya, who has actually given this entire Vishnu Sahasranama to us, for us to as an instrument for us to use in this Kali Yuga and progress in our spiritual journey. Lot of thanks goes to Puja Swamiji Dayanand Saraswati, with whose commentary only I have been able to explain, with the help of whose commentary only I have, in fact, in some cases, I have literally reproduced what he has written. Somebody may ask, why should we attend these classes? We can read the book. Honestly speaking, I bought the book, I read it. I could not read for a very long time. It is different to read something. It is totally different to hear something. And when I taught you, I also benefited because I was also hearing to the entire Vishnu Sahasranama 1000 names meanings. And last but not the least, I must thank you all for giving me this opportunity to teach the 1000 names of Vishnu Sahasranama. Not too many people are blessed to get this opportunity, and not too many people are blessed to listen to the 1000 names, the meaning of the 1000 names of Vishnu Sahasranama. That way, both you and me, we are all blessed. We have the grace of Ishvara, that these classes have gone on uninterrupted, and we have been able to do the purti of these classes with the grace which has been showered on us. I'm really grateful for all the cosmic powers which has made this possible for us to conclude successfully this Vishnu Sahasranama. Of course, as I said, we will continue the Uttara Bhaga, but that will not be a very detailed one. I will just chant the slokas and explain the meaning. And after that, that may take probably 3-4 classes. I don't know. Depends upon with what speed we go. And there we will end Vishnu Sahasranama, our classes, our teaching. Thank you all once again very much. I will now say the prayers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Guruji.
Being with me for the last 2 years.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.
Harihi Om. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Now, only one thing, Guruji.
Yeah.
As my father says, Pachavalam Gudikira Mari, we should be able to recite this.
Yes,
Now,
practice.
what is the technique? Okay,
See,
we have listened to you all the 1000 namas at slow
Yes.
speed. You are able to sort of recite each sloka and explain how many namas in each one of them, etc. But ultimately, from beginning to end, if you recite, of course, one is understanding the meaning and reciting, another is reciting itself. Now, the question is the recitation.
Right.
No.
See, recitation, anything, if we want to commit to our memory,
Yes.
there is only one method, repeated recitation of that.
Agreed, but the pronunciation, all of us are not Sanskrit students or anything.
Correct, but for that, what you can do is, as even you are reciting, you can listen to some. For example, Vishnu Sahasranama, M.S. Subbalakshmi's
I am listening to it
audio.
every day.
So when you listen to that, automatically you will pronounce the words correctly only. It will initially it may not happen, but as you get used to listening more and more and more, because it is all part of Shravanam. The only way our intellect takes in information and gives out that is only by Shravanam. By reading, you will not know the pronunciation, right? So for pronunciation, you must listen to somebody, and M.S. Subbalakshmi's pronunciation is perfect, right? And
But that's a little fast it is.
well, actually speaking, let me think about it. Let me find out. There is one Vishnu Sahasranamam recitation, which is very slow. And I think that whole recording has been done by Medha Michika, who is a Puja Swamiji student who was teaching Sanskrit in Gurukulam. And when I actually taught the chanting to one earlier batch in 2020, some students requested me to teach them Vishnu Sahasranamam chanting. After doing that, the same question came up. Now that you are asking that question, it is so my memory is getting activated. I will check whether I have got that video with me. It is very good. She does it very slowly, allows time for you to repeat with the correct pronunciation. And let me see whether that recording is still available. Because I remember I circulated it to my students then. Even if I don't have it, or by chance I have deleted it, I will check with one of my students or some of my students whether they have got that recording. I will get it and circulate it in this group. So I will certainly do that. And that's very useful. And she has done it very slowly, rather. It's not very fast, So you can stop, and if you have the recording, you can stop, repeat, rewind, repeat, like that. You can learn it very, very nicely. Now that thanks for asking this question, because I don't remember all the things, Somebody asked, then something clicks in my mind. Oh, I've seen this. I remember I took it from, downloaded, got it from somewhere and circulated to my Swadhyaya students. I will certainly do that. Yeah,
kindly
that will be very helpful.
Your collections, probably you'll be able to. Yeah, great.
Well, I should see,
thank you very
because
much.
yeah, thanks a lot. I'm sure I will be able to get it.
Thanks very much. Good.
Otherwise, I will check
despite your busy schedule.
No, it's okay. As I said, it was my personal.
I know, despite
also.
you being in USA or Canada or Coimbatore or anywhere, you have really taken the trouble, and ensured that we didn't miss any of the class. Although personally, I might have missed a few here and there. I was also sitting in London and listening to you. There's some classes, of course, I did miss.
Yeah.
But anyway, all the same.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much, Gurji.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Indebted to you. Thank you very much.
I am indebted to all of you. You gave me this opportunity to teach. So that is a very great thing for me, As a teacher, unless I have students, I can't teach anybody. I can't teach the pillows and laptops and this thing. It has been a very interactive, and a very enriching experience for me also, rather. Thank you very much. And so we'll complete it in another few classes. Yeah.
Certainly. Thank you very much, Gurji.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dhanyavadaha. Thank you all. Thank you. Can I close the session? Yeah. Namaste. Namaste.